Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. Did you realize the second week of January is National Pizza Week? Actually, February 9th is National Pizza Day, and there's so many days that celebrate. But I tell you what, there are some folks that I know, they celebrate Pizza Week. Every week they have pizza. So I decided today to show you pizza, but we're gonna do it a couple different ways. We're gonna do it on skewers, and we're gonna start with a soup. So in our pot, I've started browning off some Italian sausage. Now this was Italian sausage that was out of the casing. And if you get it in the casing, that's fine. Just go ahead and take it out of the casing, all right? And you see, I just had a touch of oil. I browned it off. And you know, some Italian sausage is gonna give a lot of oil off. And if that's the case, if you get a lot of oil coming off your sausage, what you may want to do, you may want to take it out and drain some of that oil off of it. But here, we don't need to. So look at what we're going with. Here's a little onion, a little bell pepper, and I'm using a green bell pepper because that's what I had, all right? Of course, you can do a red bell pepper if you want, or a yellow bell pepper, but I did green. And some of the other things we're gonna put in here for seasoning, all right? Let me show you. Turn the fire down just a little bit. Now, you could do this fresh or dried. Here's rosemary, here's some basil, I have a little garlic. Now, you could do this with dried, but I happen to have fresh in the refrigerator. That's why I'm using fresh. The other thing I'm gonna season this with, I have a little oregano, pepper flakes, touch of salt, and because we're gonna have tomato in here, I'm doing a little bit of brown sugar. So let's get our salt and sugar in. Let's get in our other herbs. Just get this stirred in. I tell you what, if you happen to have fresh, it just smells so good. But remember, even with the dried, that'll work as well, okay? So I put the sugar in because we're doing tomatoes a couple of different ways, okay? Here I have some diced tomatoes. I just took a couple of Roma tomatoes, diced those up. But here I have some pizza sauce, okay? So because of the brown sugar, that's why I put the sugar in, because of the acidity from the tomatoes there and the pizza sauce. So let's get our pizza sauce in. Now, I also have some pepperoni that I've just chopped up. I've just taken a pepperoni, gave it just quartered it basically. So we can get that in. And I have a little chicken stock. So let's get a little bit of our stock in. I'm just gonna bring this up to a boil, turn it down and let it simmer. And you know, just like most things, the longer it cooks, the more the flavors blend together. But I tell you what, this looks pretty good. I'll probably hit it with just a touch of my Creole seasoning. Oh yeah. So, I'll get the rest of our stock in. I'll get this to simmering. And when we come back, I'll show you how we're gonna make those pizza skewers. I can't wait to show you that. So we'll see in a little bit. Hi guys, welcome back. You can see our soup is simmering. So now, let's take care of our pizza skewers. Now, basically, I soaked our skewers, okay? Anytime you put skewers in the oven on the grill, you want to soak them just so that, because they're wood, all right? So I've soaked them, and you can see I use small pepperoni, put a few on the skewers. This is a pizza dough. Now, I have flour on the cutting board. This is melted butter. That to it, I'm adding a little garlic powder, salt, fresh garlic, and a little basil, all right? So we'll get this in. We'll just get this stirred up really good, and we're going to brush this. We're gonna brush this onto our dough, all right? So just take a little brush and just brush it on. Now, this is gonna go in the oven, all right? And basically it doesn't have to be in the oven. We're only going in the oven, roughly about 10 to 12 minutes because the dough won't take long to cook, okay? All right, give that a nice little good coating. Now, I use fresh parsley and a little, I'm sorry, I said parsley. I meant to talk about garlic. I use fresh garlic, also with a little bit of powdered garlic, okay? You can do either one or both, all right? Or if you're not a garlic fan, hey, leave it off, but I can't imagine not having this without garlic. So here's what I want to do. I want to take our pizza cutter and I'm going to roll this, just cut it in strips, okay? You can cut about 10 strips out of it, all right? So now what we want to do is to take our skewer, we want to attach the dough at one end, pinch it really good. Then we're just going to take it and wrap it around. And you see how we're trying to get it in between. Oh, come on. We're trying to get it in between our layers of our pieces of pepperoni. Now, I have the oven preheating at 400 degrees, all right? I'm also gonna put this on a pan. Now, you can use aluminum foil, but I'm using foil that has non-stick, okay? It's a non-stick foil. So I've lined this with the non-stick foil, all right? And if you don't have non-stick foil, just go ahead and spray it. So now we're just gonna lay it on, all right? And we'll go to our next one. So we'll keep wrapping this up until we have all of our skews done and used all of our pepperoni. So I'll finish these up. Next time you see me, we'll be ready to get these in the oven. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hi guys, welcome back. As you take a look, you see we're all wrapped up and ready to go. Now, if you notice, I also did a few without the pepperoni, okay? Someone may not be a pepperoni fan, but here, let's take a little bit of this melted butter and just kind of brush over the top with the garlic before we put it in the oven, okay? Just a little quick top. Now remember, this is gonna go in the oven long enough for this to bake, get nice and golden brown. Basically, it's gonna be in the oven, it only takes about 10 to 12 minutes, okay? Now, you notice I have a good bit of garlic left down in here, okay? What I'm gonna do with these, I'm gonna take this garlic and just kind of put it on these without the pepperoni, just for a little extra garlicky flavor. All right. And I know you're asking, you says, well, Kev, what about the cheese? Well, don't worry. We have some cheese. What I have here, I have some mozzarella. Now I like to go ahead and bake these off. Once they bake, then sprinkle mozzarella on them. There's enough heat, it should melt the mozzarella. And if it doesn't melt, just go ahead, stick it back in the oven just for 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and get these in the oven, because remember, these are gonna be in the oven for just about 12 minutes. Just until they get nice and golden brown. I can't wait to show them to you. I think they're ready. Oh, nice and golden brown. Let's turn that oven off. Now, remember, this is hot. See, we can just take our mozzarella cheese and put on it now. Now, I just turned the oven off, okay? If you want, you can stick this back in the oven for a second for that mozzarella to melt. But I tell you what, I think there's enough heat that's gonna take care of it. All right, I think that's gonna be enough heat. Look, we could even put a little Parmesan on these, okay? Now, let's get our soup. Look at our soup, how beautiful our soup is. Look, you can see all the sausage, all the pepperoni down in there. Here, let's ladle this up. You know, I didn't think about it, but you know, if we wanted, we could have served this with a little pasta underneath, all right? Let's go ahead and wipe our plate off. Now, here, How about a little Parmesan cheese? How about even this little ricotta? How about putting a little dollop of ricotta right on top? Maybe with a few croutons, you know, just around on our soup for a little bit of a crunch, all right? And let's get some of our pizza sticks. Oh, look at that cheese, how it's just kind of getting gooey. Oh, ooey gooey, nice and chewy. Ah, yes. Come on, mozzarella. And look, we could even take one that we did with just the bread, stick it right here on our soup. So there we have. How is this to celebrate a wonderful pizza time? Pizza soup, pizza skewers. I tell you what, you got to get the kids, get you some pepperoni, get you some Italian sausage, make this recipe. Hey, keep washing those hands, keep masking up, keep being safe, all right? I appreciate you so much for hanging out with me, cooking with me today. So for WDBL TV, I'm Chef Kevin Belton, and we'll see you soon.